Vinayaka Chaturthi Vrat Katha in English. Great sage called Suta once narrated the story of how Vinayaka was born. What is the dosha that comes when we see moon on Vinayaka Chaviti and the remedy from that dosha? Once there lived a demon king by the name of Gajasur. He was named so because he had the form of an elephant, Gaj. He performed great penance, that is tapasya, for Lord Shiva. Shiva, who was pleased with the penance, came to him and offered him a boon, that is var. That demon prayed Lord Shiva as soon as Lord Shiva appeared. Then prayed that, "Hey Lord, I would ask you to stay in my stomach as boon." As Lord Shiva, known for his love towards the followers, agreed and stayed in the stomach of the Gajasur. In the meantime, Goddess Parvati, wife of Lord Shiva, who was in Kailash, that is the abode of Lord Shiva, was getting worried as her husband was not be seen for many days. She searched and finally found that Lord Shiva was residing in the stomach of the demon Gajasur. Then she was very worried on how to get her husband back and prayed to her brother Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu came to Goddess Parvati. Then Goddess Parvati narrated the whole story of her husband and requested Lord Vishnu to help in getting her husband back. Lord Vishnu consoled Goddess Parvati and promised that he would get back her husband. Lord Vishnu, along with other deities like Indra, Brahma, etc., hatched a plan of getting Lord Shiva back. As a part of the plan, they decorated Nandi the bull as Gangiredu. This is a part of Andhra tradition wherein bulls were disguised as musical instrument players, where all the gods took up different musical instruments. With everything ready, all of them went to the capital city of demon Gajasur. In the city, they started the show of making the bull move to their music, and it was magnificent and started pulling huge crowds. The fame of the bull play reached Gajasur and he summoned them to his court. In the court, all the gods made Nandi play beautifully, by which Gajasur was impressed and asked the band to go ahead and ask for anything and he would for sure give them. Listening to that, Lord Vishnu said that the fancy bull was no other than Nandi, the vehicle of Lord Shiva, and they were here for Lord Shiva. Listening to that, Gajasur understood that the one who spoke was none other than Lord Vishnu, famous for killing demons, and knowing that he had no other way out but to stand on his words. He once again prayed to Lord Shiva and asked for another boon, stating that his death was imminent, and so he prayed to Lord Shiva that to make his head to be prayed in all the lokas, that is Bhuloka, Pataloka, etc., and that Shiva should wear his skin as clothes, for which Lord Shiva agreed. Lord Vishnu asked Nandi to pierce the stomach of Gajasur, which Nandi did, and the Lord Shiva was out from the stomach of Gajasur. Lord Vishnu then advised Lord Shiva that boons were to be given on discretion and asked him to consider before giving boons to demons. Then all the gods left, and so did Lord Shiva, mounted Nandi, and left to Kailash. Birth of Ganesha. Knowing the arrival of Lord Shiva, Goddess Parvati feels relieved and happy. She performs Abhyanga Snan. This is a form of bath taken by applying oil to the whole body, massage until the whole oil gets into the body, and then apply gram flour to the body and rub so that the floor peels off, taking all dust. While performing the bath, She prepares a boy with the floor and installs life into it. Thus, the child is born. She asks him to guard at the front door as long as she is bathing and tells him not to let anyone enter the house. The child is now standing as a guard to the door of the house of goddess Parvati. Lord Shiva comes home and tries to get into the home, but the child stopped him. Lord Shiva gets angry and, in a fit of rage, kills the boy by beheading and burning the head and enters the house. Goddess Parvati, who is ready by now, receives Lord Shiva with affection. While talking, the discussion comes up on the boy who was guarding the door. Lord Shiva tells Goddess Parvati that he had killed him, upon which Goddess Parvati narrates the whole story of birth of the boy and becomes sad. Lord Shiva repents on what he had done, and the only way that he can bring the boy to life is by attaching a new head. He sends all the soldiers under his command to go and fetch a head of a person who is lying, that is sleeping, with his head positioned in the north direction. Then all the soldiers go in all the directions and finally return with the head of Gajasur, stating that Gajasur was the only one sleeping with his head kept in the north direction. Hence, it is advised not to sleep keeping the head in north direction. One more reason being that south is the position of Yama and no one would want to see Yama as soon as they get up. Lord Shiva then brings back the boy to life by attaching the head of Gajasur and named him Gajanan, that is Ganesh. He was given a rat by the name of Anindyudu as vehicle. Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati after few years had another son by the name of Kumaraswamy. Kumaraswamy became the commander of the army of gods later. Kumaraswamy is also called as Kartikeya, Subramanya, etc. Commander of Vignas. Vigna means some obstacle that would come for any work before the work itself gets started. That is, you will get lot of troubles before you start the work and finally you will not be able to complete the work. Vignas will never allow you to finish the work as expected by you. Once all the gods, sages, meet Lord Shiva and pray him and ask him to appoint someone as a head to the Vignas. Kumaraswamy comes forward and asks his father to give the head of Vignas post to him, as Gajanan is short and fat. But Gajanan, that is Ganesh, also wants the post. So, Lord Shiva puts them to a test. The test is to go around all the worlds and to bath in all the holy rivers present in those worlds and return. Whoever comes first will be appointed as the head of Vignas. Listening to which, Kumaraswamy sits on his vehicle peacock and flies for completing the test. Ganesh, on the other hand, feels sorrow, approaches his father and prays him, saying, "You know that I am fat, short, and cannot move as fast as Kumaraswamy. So I request you to advise me on how to win this competition." Lord Shiva responds to his prayer and says that if you recite the Narayan mantra and do circumambulate to parents, that is, circling around the parents, it is equal to bathing in all the holy rivers. Lord Shiva teaches Ganesh Narayan mantra, and Ganesh, reciting the Narayan mantra, does the pradakshina to his parents. Because of the effect of the mantra and pradakshina, Kumaraswamy always sees his brother Ganesh to finish the bath and leaves as he tries to enter for a bath in any of the holy river. Kumaraswamy returns to Kailash and tells his father to forgive him of his ignorance in recognizing his elder brother's capability and requests him to place Ganesh as the head of Vignas. So, Ganesh is named as the head of the Vignas and hence called Vigneshwar, Lord of Vignas. This ceremony of placing Ganesh as the head of Vignas was done on Bhadrapada Suddha Chaviti, and from that day it is celebrated as Vinayaka Chaturthi or Ganesh Chaturthi or Vinayaka Chaviti. All the people, gods, sages, etc. of all worlds presented Ganesh with lot of different food items like bananas, coconuts, sweets like laddu, kudumulu, modak, etc. And Ganesh ate most of them. He, wishing to seek the blessings of his mother and father, goes to them with his big stomach. He tries to take their blessings by doing Sastang Namaskar. Sastang Namaskar means the person lies down on the floor with his hand stretched over the forehead and his face, stomach, legs all touch the ground. But because of Ganesh's big stomach, if he tries to keep his hand on the ground, his legs would rise, and if he places his legs on the ground, his hands would rise. Looking at the way Ganesh was doing the namaskar, the moon which resides on the head of Lord Shiva laughs, and Ganesh is subjected to drishti, which causes the stomach of Ganesh to break open and Ganesh dies. Looking at his dead son, goddess Parvati gets angry and then puts a curse on moon that as her son died because of drishti of by moon, the one who would see moon from now on will be falsely alleged or blamed, that is Nilapaninda, causing pain to them, that is the one who would look moon will be held responsible for the bad deed or crime that they have not committed. The Brahma, along with all others, goes to Kailash and gives life to the dead Ganesh and prays goddess Parvati to withdraw her curse. Goddess Parvati relieved of the pain and is happy to see her son, and so she reduces the intensity of the curse by stating that the curse would prevail only on the day her son was dead because of moon's drishti, that is on the fourth day of Bhadrapada Mas. Bhadrapada Suddha Chaviti. So, people from that day onwards refrained themselves from looking at the moon on the day of Vinayaka Chaviti. This went for some time. In Dwapar Yuga, one day sage Narada came to see Lord Krishna in the city of Dwaraka. He informed him of the curse of goddess Parvati, narrated the whole story, and advised him not to see the moon today as it was Vinayaka Chaviti. Lord Krishna made this matter to be known to all the people of his kingdom, and he also was careful not to look at the moon. Lord Krishna loves to drink milk, and so he goes to the cow yard and milks the cow, and when he is about to drink the milk, he sees the reflection of moon in it. He immediately remembers what Narada had said and prepares himself to face allegations he might be dragged into. Some time passes by, and once a person named Satrajit visits Sri Krishna and shows him a diamond by the name Samantak Mani, which was given to Satrajit by Lord's son. The speciality of the diamond being it gives out 8 kgs of gold every day. Then Krishna asks Satrajit to give to the king for the best use for the welfare of the people. But Satrajit refuses and Krishna lets it go. Once Prasina, the brother of Satrajit, goes hunting wearing the diamond. Looking at the diamond and presuming it to be meat, a lion attacks and kills Prasina and takes diamond. A bear sees the diamond which is with the lion and fights with it and takes the diamond to his home, which is a cave, and ties it to the cradle in which his son is sleeping for him to play. The next day, as Presina doesn't return, Satrajit blames that Krishna has killed his brother and taken the diamond as he has refused to give to Krishna. Listening to which Krishna understands that this blame was due to looking at the reflection of the moon in milk during Vinayaka Chaturthi. In order to free himself of blame, Krishna inquires on what happened and goes to forest looking for Presina. In the forest, at one place, he finds the dead body of Presina and footmarks of a lion, and after some time comes to a place where he sees that there has been a fight between a bear and a lion. He then follows the footmarks of the bear and reaches the cave of the bear. Krishna enters the cave and sees the diamond tied to the cradle. He tries to take it and the bear comes and attacks Krishna. Krishna fights back with the bear. The fight goes on for 28 days and the bear loses all its energy and realizes that Krishna is none other than Rama. The bear is none other than Jambavanta, the kings of bears and aid of Rama in Treta Yuga. He then remembers how after the war with Ravana, Rama grants a boon to Jambavanta and Jambavanta foolishly asks for a duel with Rama, which Rama grants and says that his boon would be fulfilled later, and it is known that Krishna has come to fulfill the boon, and both Rama and Krishna are the avatara, that is, forms of Lord Vishnu. He then prays to Krishna, who relieves Jambavanta of all the pains. Jambavanta, along with the diamond, also gives him his daughter Jambavati and requests him to accept her as his wife. Krishna agrees and returns to Dwaraka along with the diamond and the girl. He summons Satrajit, returns the diamond, and narrates him the whole story. Listening to which, Satrajit repents and offers Krishna not only the diamond but also his daughter Satyabhama. Krishna rejects the diamond and accepts Satyabhama as his wife. All the people, sages, then pray to Krishna and tell him that because you are the Almighty, you were able to prove your innocence. But what about normal people like us? Please show us some means to overcome the blame if we look at the moon. Krishna, pleased by the prayers, gives a boon that on Vinayaka Chaviti, those who perform the Ganesh Puja and would listen to the story of birth of Ganesh and story of Samantak Mani and put akshintalu, that is rice which is mixed with turmeric and are used to do puja, on their heads would be freed from the curse if they accidentally see the moon.